Hello students. Today we are going to read second chapter of First Flight, that is Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom, written by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. This chapter is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa. Excerpts from Long Walk to Freedom include description of the inauguration ceremony, citations from his speech, his country to being a freedom fighter, the struggle, along with the tribute to other freedom fighters and countless other people who fought for their freedom. In South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was followed. It refers to the discrimination between people on the basis of their race. It was one of the most brutal societies where dark-skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. This lesson gives us an overview as to how Nelson Mandela, along with others, carved their way to a society where there will be no discrimination on the basis of their color, caste, race, age, or gender. Always remember, it always seems impossible until it's done. Now, let's move to the chapter. 10th May dawned bright and clear. Dawn means began. So 10th May began bright and clear. Why? Because 10th May was a big day. It was the day when Nelson Mandela sworn in as the first black head of state, South Africa. It was after years of struggle that his anti-racist party came into power. Until then, the seat had always been occupied by white presidents. That is why the author referred to the day as bright and clear. It was a morning full of hope. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. For the past few days, that means before 10th May. That means we can say before that day, for the past few days, I means Nelson Mandela was pleasantly, happily besieged, surrounded by dignitaries. Dignitaries means persons of high rank or office and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. So he was very happy. He is saying that he was happily surrounded by the dignitaries and they came to meet him and to give him best wishes, or we can say for the first time in the country's history, so many international leaders came together for their inauguration ceremony. That's why it was a big day. That's why it was a special day. It was a one of the most important days of his life. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. So he says that this day would see the biggest gathering of the international leaders on South African soil. Until now, there have not been such gathering. He's saying that for the first time, it is for the first time that so many of the leaders from all over the world are going together on South African soil. So it was a big event and it was a special day, and that's why, because many notable personalities, many notable dignitaries, world leaders, they just started congratulating him for his victory. They just started coming there to meet him, to give him best wishes. The ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheatre formed by the Union buildings in Pretoria. And these on inauguration ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater. Amphitheater is a open theater without a roof and made up of sandstone. Sandstone is a kind of strong and hard rock which is usually red, yellow, or brown in color. So we can say it took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Pretoria is the capital of South Africa. For decades, this had been the seat of white supremacy. Decades means 10 years. So, for many years, this sandstone amphitheater had been the seat of white supremacy because it was used by the whites as a place from where they would pass racist policies to suppress the native blacks. And now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non racial government. And now that sandstone amphitheater has become the site of a rainbow gathering because it conveys the presence of people from varied nationalities belonging to different classes, creeds, and colors. And it has become the venue of the installation of a democratic, non racial government in South Africa. Because uh, the first democratic, non racial government is going to be installed in South Africa. On that lovely autumn day, I was accompanied by my daughter Jenani, and it was a big day. On that big day, we can say the author was accompanied by his daughter Jenani, and then on the podium, Mr. De Klerk was first sworn in as first deputy president. Deputy means second in command. So, first, the two vice presidents took an oath. Sworn in means took an oath. And then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as first deputy president. So we can say the two vice presidents took an oath, and when it was my turn, so then when his turn came, I pledged to obey and uphold the Constitution and to devote myself to the well being of the Republic and its people. So, when his turn came, he committed to respect, protect, and abide by the laws of the Constitution and to devote his entire self, to devote his entire life into the welfare of the country. So, in this way, he committed by a solemn promise and he took an oath to obey and uphold the Constitution. Then, to the assembled guests and the watching world, I said. So, after swearing in, he began his speech. Then he mentions, we can say, some parts of his speech, and where he said that I today, I said, today, all of us do by our presence here confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. So he said that everyone by his presence was giving rise to hope for a new beginning. What was that beginning? That was beginning for just having a newborn liberty. So they are giving a glory, honor to a newborn liberty, and that liberty was from discrimination. That liberty, that freedom was from discrimination. Out of experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long. According to Mandela, the extraordinary human disaster is the suffering borne by the blacks of South Africa under, you can say, the oppression and the oppression of the white rulers. So The suffering of the blacks of South Africa lasted too long because they had been under the white rule for more than 3 centuries. That means we can say 300 years. So that's why he says that out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, that means that lasted for more than 3 centuries, for more than 300 years, must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. And so now he expects the birth of a society that would be fair and equal for all, regardless uh, of class, color, or creed. Then he says, we who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege to be host to the nations of the world on our own soil. So we who were outlaws, who were that? We refers to the native black population of South Africa. And why were we considered outlaws? Because the ruling white government didn't recognize them as citizens, or we can say because of its policy of apartheid. Many countries had earlier broken off diplomatic relations with South Africa. That's why Nelson Mandela says that we who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege. Now they have got that opportunity to welcome people from different nationalities on South African soil. So now they have got the opportunity, that rare privilege, that rare opportunity to be host to the nations of the world on our own soil. So now they are ready to welcome people from different nationalities on South African soil. Then we thank all of our distinguished international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. So now he is saying that rare privilege was given to show solidarity, or we can say to show that thing, that the newly elected democratic first rational government of South Africa is now free from all discrimination. So now they are free from all discrimination. Now the all the international leaders are ready to join them, to support them, and that's why he thanked everyone, especially the international leaders, for joining them in celebrating their achievement, which is a step towards an equal society where every human will be treated fairly. And that's why because there is no segregation on the basis of race and gender now. All the other nations are also happy to have healthy democratic relationships with South Africa. So finally they have come to power and they pledge to make everyone proud. We have at last achieved our political emancipation. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination. So he mentions that after great struggle, they have finally achieved political freedom. His government promised to free everyone of the still existing poverty, hardships, and inequalities of all kinds, along with assuring everyone of a country where no community will be considered inferior. So there would not be any discrimination on any base. So he says that now we, as government, promised to free everyone from all barriers, from all, we can say, bondage means uh, the state of being a slave, or you can say of being a slave of poverty, of or of inequalities or hardships. So now they are free. that is a newborn liberty. Now they are free to form their government. So they are free from all discrimination. They are free to form their government. Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. Now he says that the people of this beautiful land will not experience any kind of oppression of one by another. What is oppression? It means prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment, especially by the authorities. So he says that there would not be any oppression of one by another, and it will never ever happen. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. And then he says that that is a human achievement. What is that human achievement? That they have got victory uh, over the whites, and that's why he says that it is a victory. And that's why the sun will never set on. It's a human victory, it's a human achievement, is that is freedom from whites, and this freedom will remain forever. Let freedom reign, that let freedom remain forever. God bless Africa. He then exclaims that freedom should rule, and may God shower his blessings on their land. So in this way, that inauguration ceremony was going on. If we talk about the questions, first question is, where did the ceremonies take place? Can you name any public buildings in India that are made of sandstone? The ceremonies took place in an amphitheater which was formed by Union Buildings in Pretoria. In India, we have many public buildings made of sandstone, some of which are Rashtrapati Bhavan, Red Fort, and the Supreme Court of India in New Delhi. Can you say, second question is, can you say how 10 May is an autumn day in South Africa? Nelson Mandela called 10 May, that lovely autumn day, as this day saw the fall of a system of government based on race and creed. Just as the trees shed their old and worn out leaves in autumn, so were the oppressive policies practiced in South Africa shed, making a room for a new and fresh democratic, non-racial government. Now, next question is, at the beginning of his speech, Mandela mentions an extraordinary human disaster. What does he mean by this? What is the glorious human achievement he speaks of at the end? By an extraordinary human disaster, Mandela is referring to the apartheid system that was prevalent in South Africa under the previous leadership, or we can say the leadership under the leadership of whites. People of color were treated unfairly, badly, and no human being deserves that. He stood against the unjust practices and finally won the democratic elections to become the first black president of South Africa. He refers to this victory as a glorious human achievement. Now, next one is, what does Mandela thank the international leaders for? The author thanked the international leaders for joining and supporting them in their victory of freedom, justice, and human dignity. Earlier, many nations had cut ties with South Africa because of their practice of apartheid. Next one is, what ideals does he set out for the future of South Africa? As the newly elected president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela wanted to liberate the country of all the unjust practices. He set out ideas for a country which was free of poverty, discrimination, and injustice. That's all. Thank you. Have a nice day.